Hi guys, it is me, Dom. I am coming today to do a poem. For the past couple of days, I have been reading from Milk and Honey. There is 4 different categories within this that has poems. I have been kind of going backwards and reading from the end to the start. So that means that today I'm going to be reading a poem from The Loving. I had already read one from The Healing. I read one from The Breaking. Today we are doing The Loving, and my next poem will be from The Hurting. So, The Loving. It starts on page 43. I'm going to go ahead and just choose a random one that kind of captures my attention. That seems somewhat long. I think, oh, there's 2. Okay, well, I'm just gonna read the first one that captured my attention, and then maybe, just maybe, I will read the second one as well in another video and go through that. Or maybe I'll do both. I don't know. They're pretty short. I'll probably do both just so I can keep them together in the same category. Also, my hair is pretty crazy. I have been doing like a Sunday reset cleanse all day today, so I've just been like cleaning everything, kind of getting rid of things, getting ready for the new year, just kind of setting intentions. I know I just started Jujutsu Kaisen, so I'm excited to just kind of debrief, do my nails, watch that, and yeah, I'm super excited for what this new year has to offer. And I feel like I finally am going down a path where I know exactly what I want to do. For this past year, everything was kind of just like up in the air. I knew things that interest me, and I knew things that like I wanted to do, but it didn't feel quite tangible. And I've kind of just spent this year letting go of all of my limiting beliefs and just, put those outside, this my headspace, and really just accepted everything for what it is, and just, starting everything that I've really wanted to start. And I mean, again, like, this is one of them, and I'm just really happy that I'm able to kind of get a head start, because I was thinking of waiting until the new year, but I just feel like if I would have kept waiting and waiting, I would have never done it. So I just took the jump, and I was like, you know what? I don't exactly know where it's gonna go or what I'm doing, but hey, I'm here and I'm doing it and I'm showing up. So yeah, let's get started. So this one right here is on page 62. He asks me what I do. I tell him I work for a small company that makes packaging for. He stops me mid-sentence. No, not what you do to pay the bills. What drives you crazy? What keeps you up at night? I tell him I write. He asks me to show him something. I take the tips of my fingers, place them inside his forearm, and graze them down his wrist. Goosebumps rise to the surface. I see his mouth clench, muscles tighten. His eyes pour into mine, as though I am the reason for making them blink. I break gaze just as he inches towards me. I step back. So that's what you do. You command attention. My cheeks flush as I smile shyly, confessing I can't help it. So it's funny because this is coming from The Loving, and I feel like I've really set the intention to love this year, and really, again, like, I mean, I feel like I've been pretty selfish as far as self-love and making sure I do things I love. So as I was kind of saying before I read this, so very funny, just kind of setting the intention of love and doing everything with love rather than fear or, hesitation, or even just like different motives. I feel like everything that I've done out of love has been just, amazing, with no expectations of expecting anything back. If someone is needing help and I help them, it's out of love. It's not out of like, oh, I feel sorry for them, or oh, that. And I feel like just switching that perspective in my mind has changed the outcome of things. And even though, like, you know, that person may not know what my emotion towards that is, rather than the fact of me actually doing it, I feel like there's this subconscious, like subconscious message of like, they don't know that that was what I was intending or what emotion I was putting into it, but they could feel it. So I think that was a really cool poem, and I feel like, yeah, just doing things out of love. And, you know, I feel like nowadays there's so many outward things that you have to do in order to just like seem interesting, or especially with, I guess, relationships or significant others. It's like everyone wants to be with someone that has like a cool job, or they're doing cool things, or going to, you know, these events, and it's like none of that matters. I think it matters like how you feel around that person to the core, and how they make you feel. So when there's, you know, in the poem, when they're talking about goosebumps and this and that, like, I feel like it's just so intentional and so to the core that nothing else matters at the end of the day. And yeah, I feel like that's with anything, you know. We only have so much time on this earth, and, you know, as time goes on and you lose loved ones and others, you find yourself, you know, questioning, like, you know, is this what I want to spend the rest of my life doing? So that was a really nice one. Another one I'm gonna kind of jump to because it is a little lengthier, and I kind of like to go in depth with things. This one is on page 76 and 77. It is, we've been arguing more than we ought to about things neither of us remember or care about, because that's how we avoid the bigger questions. Instead of asking why we don't say I love you to one another as often as we used to, we fight about things like who was supposed to get up and turn the lights off first, or who was supposed to pop the frozen pizza in the oven after work, taking hits at the most vulnerable parts of one another. We're like fingers on the thorns, honey. We know exactly where it hurts. And everything is on the table tonight, like that one time you whispered a name I'm pretty sure wasn't mine in your sleep. Or last week when you said you were working late, so I called work, but they said you'd already left a couple hours ago. Where were you for those couple hours? I know, your excuses make all sense in the world, and I get a little carried away for no good reason and eventually begin crying. But what else do you expect, baby? I love you so much. I'm sorry, I thought you were lying. That's when you hold your head with your hands in frustration, half begging me to stop, half tired and sick of it. The toxin in our mouths has burnt holes in our cheeks. We look less alive than we used to, less color in our faces. But don't kid yourself. No matter how bad it gets, we both know you still want to nail me to the ground. Especially when I'm screaming so loud, our fighting wakes the neighbors, and they come running to the door to save us. Baby, don't open it. Instead, lie me down, lay me open like a map, with your finger tracing the places you still want out of me. Kiss me like I am the center point of gravity, and you are falling into me like my soul is the focal point of yours. And when your mouth is kissing not my mouth, but other places, my legs will split apart out of habit, and that's when I pull you in, welcome you home. When the entire street is looking out their windows, wondering what all the commotion is, and the fire trucks come rolling in to save us, but they can't distinguish whether these flames begin in our anger or our passion, I will smile, throw my head back, arch my body like a mountain you want to split in half. Baby, lick me. Your mouth has the gift of reading, and I'm your favorite book. Find your favorite page in the soft spot between my legs and read it carefully, fluently, vividly. Don't you dare leave a single word untouched, and I swear my ending will be so good. The last few words will come, running to your mouth, and when you're done, take a seat, 'cause it's my turn to make music with my knees pressed to the ground. Sweet baby, this is how we pull language out of one another, with the flick of our tongues. This is how we have the conversation. This is how we make up. Well, I wasn't expecting that. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing, but yeah, that was pretty interesting. I mean, again, this being in the category of the loving, I feel like it's something that there's often that fine line between love and hate. And I feel like this kind of describes it, where they're talking about arguing, but arguing turns into lovemaking. And it's something that's it's so hard to kind of like, again, like separate them or categorize them, because I feel like there's just, within both, there's so much passion, and there's so much like just like tension and heat and everything. And yeah, this was really spicy, I'd say. But yeah, I mean, yeah, that definitely describes a piece of love. I feel like that obviously there's different forms of love, there's different ways to express love, to receive love. And one of them is, yeah, obviously, language, how you use language, physical touch, how you, show your love. And yeah, that was really good. But yeah, I mean, from both the poems, I feel like they both really emphasize on the fact of what love could be to someone, and how it could create something. Because at the end of the day, to love is to create, and to create is to love. So I just thought of that on the top of my head. Aren't I like a genius? Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video right now. I am going to get back to cleaning. I've been listening to some awesome albums. Right now I'm listening to an album from Pulp. I believe this is Hardcore. I'm listening to the deluxe version, so it's like 2 hours long. Oh no, my lights died. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna listen to that and clean and watch shows and do things that Dom does, I guess. But bye.